Imagine such a pull up and wait for first sound, and there's just Hi everyone. Hi. Miss you all. So, what are we doing today? I guess we are going to do the same thing that we've been doing for a while now, which is drawing our OC. Still no idea how to name him, but yeah. On the last stream, we finished the skin, so what's left now are hairs and clothing. And that's that. Hi Skylar, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope it was going. So happy to see you. How have you been? Okay, let's wrap things up. We have our character here. Now you should see the character we're going to draw today. And yeah, hi, hugs. Good news, I thoroughly enjoyed the Dogman movie yesterday. So cool. So cool. I might actually watch it with my mom at a certain moment. For now, we are watching horrors. She likes horrors. We'll be probably searching for something. We will see. But speaking of movies, tomorrow is the premiere of the Attack on Titan movie, but the problem is that it's only showed for 3 days, tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. I see. Anyway, enough about me. How have you been? I've been doing okay. I've been doing grand. This week has been really lazy though. Really slow and lazy. Not doing much progress with the things I would want to make progress on, but that's good. It's good to, take a moment for yourself. I like slow, lazy days, yeah. These are good. You're getting more handsome every day. Thank you. It really means a lot. Did I make you blush? Yeah, a little. Hashtag raise, damn. Getting raised up. There we go. Some chill music in the background. Because finally the website loaded in. Okay. Yeah, the clothing now, right? Yeah. We just gotta make some clothing. I hope the music is not too loud. I think I would need it to be even darker. Okay. And so... I don't know, we will see. For now it doesn't really look much. Huh. Yeah, the thing is that I really don't want to make it look... I have to watch out to make actually the chest flat. Because again, he's not a woman, it's a he, right? So the breast area should be... should be rather flat. But also there should be some shadows, right? Okay. Hi Muto, glad to have you here. How are you? Hope everything is going? I'm doing alright, how are you? Doing good, just chilling. Chilling, vibing and everything. It's good to hear. Today I've been working a little bit on the game. I'm working on the room stuff. But again, I'm having some troubles with, you know, staying focused on what I'm doing. I'm procrastinating way too much recently. I'm fighting with it. That's why I've got anything done, actually. But yeah, there's that, you know, mostly as an issue. Well, besides that, you know, everything goes nice and smooth with everything. I feel the same way. I mean, it does actually, you know, take a recently weather has been really taking a stroll on us. You know, generally on people, a lot of people are feeling bad, getting sick, you know. So that's more like it. A lot of people I know are sick right now, yeah. Kinda same. Don't know where is it coming from. Hey, good, you know, good that I'm actually progressing with any projects, right? Even a little bit. If you're making small steps, you're at least making steps, right? It's better to make small steps than standing in one place. Right, yeah. So, at least that's good. It might be a bit more problematic actually. To shade his outfit. But then again, there's a rule to actually properly operate with the clothing. You have to figure out if the clothing makes sense. So, for example, if you are making an armor, you have to be ensured that the armor is going to fulfill a purpose. So, if you are making an armor, you know, is generally restricting the movement, is making things a bit more problematic, etc. Of course, it's going to be a user's armor, and it's going to make no sense, for example, in shading. So if you are, that's why, for example, taking a reference of an armor similar to what you're drawing is going to be very crucial, right? This is what is called a research. You are researching what you are going to draw. So you're researching an armor, search for an armor, right? You want to draw an armor, research an armor, right? And so on, so on, so on. It does have purpose. It does make sense, right? So at this point, I'm sure that the issue, the shading, is me and not the clothing, right? Because you know, it's zipping, right? And then there's a flap that you pin. Easy as that, right? So that's the general idea behind his outfit, right? So at least the top. Pants are also making sense, right? Because like the pieces of the clothing that are making for a belt are not actually the belt, they are a more like an accessory, right? The boots might be actually a bit problematic, because when he's going to try to, you know, run, the spikes are going to get in the way. There are actually people, usually in, you know, for example, movie making and stuff, that are doing this research, right, and ensuring that everything is going to make sense. Right, but I only do simple shading. True, but even cell shading might make no sense if you are making, for example, things in the clothing that might be not logical to put on clothing, for example, right? Because still the simple shading is still atoning to how the thing would be shaded. So if, for example, you are making the outfit real, like, you know, shaped irrationally to the point where it would be difficult to, for example, move in it, or like generally just have some irrational parts, it might actually have an influence on how much shadow is actually being placed on the character, and it might actually make things look a bit worse, right? A bit overshaded, right? Because overshading is a thing. Like, you know, you're kind of placing when you're placing too much shadows compared to what the density of the light there is. That's why there's a rule for the light. You don't necessarily need to learn entire, you know, physics for the lighting, but actually the idea for, you know, how artists are shading is exactly the same way how physics light works by theory, right? So you have light, bounce light, full shadow, half shadow, you have ambient occlusion, you have you know, subsurface scattering. All of those things are actually stuff that you can actually call out in physics, in biology, and generally how the light works in reality. And the way how I've called them is how artists are calling those terms, and like, you don't really meet with those names until you decompose the artwork you're looking at, right? So you're looking at the artwork and you can say, hey, that shading is cool, right? But what makes this shading cool, for example, you know, the light coming from that direction shows the natural light, what gives really nice bluish tone for bounce light or skylight. Has some are calling it, because bounce light and skylight are called the same way. When you are using, for example, simple shading like cell shading, right? You are not meeting with those because you are using only full shadows, right? Because cell shading is using only full shadows as the shadows, so you are skipping on the half shadows, which are making those smudging effects, right? Of course, you can add some of that to your artworks, but it's not crucial when you are using cell shading. So for example, when you are drawing something like anime, right? This, like anime is using cell shading, so you don't really have smudging in the shadows, etc., which are, you know, you don't have terminators, subsurface scattering, you don't have those things generally, because it's simplified to one or two additional shades of the skin tone, right? Because sometimes you are adding also the light, but you don't necessarily add it to the base color. So you quite often are left with the base color and shadow. That's it. That's how cell shading is working. I'm using more realistic shading, which is actually using a lot of the rules of the you know, more complex idea of the light and shadow, right? Which comes in natural life. And I have to say, to be fair, I feel like it would be easier for me to use for anime simple shading as you, like you are using Muto. But it's actually not necessarily the road I've went, because I've been a realism artist for most of my journey as an artist. So I just got used to the way how much shadow I'm putting into my drawings, mostly because I'm generally a artist that was making epic illustrations, right? So dramatic lightning, you know, very specific characters like, you know, angels and stuff. So basically, generally speaking, when I'm, you know, looking at my own style, how I would want it to be, I'm still thinking of more realistic shadow even for anime characters. But yeah. Because if I would want to, for example, you know, have a simple lightning, right? I could just do something like that, you know, go like that, da-di-da-di-da, add some, you know, additional shadows. Right, and I would have shaded, you know, character, and you can see how fast it took me to make a semi-decent shading on the thing. It's not really decent, it's not really like high, like refined shading, but it's like a good sketch of shading. I would just need to correct some colors, you know, add some more light, you know, direct the thing a little bit because I'm using round brush, but you've got an idea, right? Really quickly I was capable to produce a shading on the pants of our character without much effort. That's why actually cell shading is used in anime, because in anime production you have 24 frames per second, right? Considering that it's 24 minutes, so you have 60 seconds, so you have 24 times 60, and that times 24, right? So I think I've already calculated that, but I can give you numbers right now. easier to animate with simple shading too. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. Because of how many frames you have in anime production, it's easier to use simple shading because you are really quickly making that shading and you can push it out and start working on another one, right? So that's generally the idea why anime generally, or rather why animations, 2D animations are made with simple shading, is because it's faster, it's giving still really good idea of the shadows, etc. So that's exactly how how cell shading came to life in simplifications, right? Of course, in art, like fine arts, you can still see how some artists were using similar simple shading to cell shading, but not necessarily full cell shading, right? This is something that a lot of anime artists on media are using, right? Like Blue Sky, Twitter, Tumblr, whatever. So basically those people are sitting down and they are making a cell shading, and then they are adding half shadows, right? So they are adding some of that smudged shadows, which are not necessarily hard, but they are not necessarily placing in that much work into it, right? So you can think that what I've had before I've deleted it on the pants, and you can add some more shadows, and the lighter one gets smudged on the runs. It's actually the smudged shadow, which is usually coming in darker, because you have full shadow, half shadow, but full shadow usually gets bounce light. So there's like kind of half shadow, full shadow, half shadow, right? Quite mostly that's how it looks like. So the darkest part is called terminator, right? Because you are terminating the light from the part, and you are just after making that line, you are just going with a so to say with a normal shadow that would be with slightly tinted because of the light. Gee, I was yapping so much about shading. Sorry for that. But hope you all liked it. I see, yeah. Hope you all don't mind it. Also, who was it? Belfagor, I think that's you, Muto, right? I really love it was interesting. So Belfagor on Discord sent a work in progress of the fan art. I'm so happy to see it. I'm actually really happy to see it. It's so nice already. Can't wait to see the finished version. Damn. I'm really happy. Okay, I think that's it for the shading here. I don't want to overshade. I made the head a little big. It's alright. It's alright. If it's on a different layer, you can just easily use a polyline tool. That's something I'm usually using. I'm also tending to make heads a little bit bigger, so I'm usually just using polyline tool because it's giving me more precision, and I'm just slicing the head from the neck with the line art, and this allows me to make some changes. while working on the artwork. If you want to, if you would want to look for changes, that's actually the tool I would recommend for that. Checked and still used. As I've mentioned, it's still happening to me. But I'm glad you like it. I'm really happy to hear it. So today, the plan is to at least finish the clothing. Not sure about the boots, but the general clothing. Most likely. Also adding the tail later is going to be something to, you know, worry about. Because I do want to give them tails, I already give it to Velda, so... At least Velda should have a tail. I don't know why, but I'm usually forgetting to give tails to my characters, even though I really want them to have tails. It's like a weird curse of forgetting those facts. So we are going to try and finish the clothing, at least the base clothing. Not sure about the boots, not even sure about the fur, but we will try to finish at least the full normal clothing. Maybe I should keep those like that. Looking better this way. Or the line's just supposed to be thinner, like 5 pixel. Yeah. I've watched some more MHA today. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next in the episode, to be fair. You know? Mostly because, how was it? Well, they've discovered a traitor amongst them, you know, the heroes. And that traitor, you know, betrayed the main bad guy. And the main bad guy thought that he's going to be slick and, you know, catch a guy. You know, the main hero, because he possesses powers that that could make, you know, the main guy invincible. So they've made reverse psychology, and when the main bad guy thought that he got everyone on the board, it just so happens that the heroes retaliated with their plan, which was quite similar. So now there's going to be a huge ass battle, and it will then appear the next season of MHA is going to be like really darn short, and it's just going to be the last battle, because we are already getting in that stage of the entire story, which I was, I know in what stage of the story I am because I've been reading manga online, but yeah, I just want to see how it's going to be animated, because so far some scenes that I've seen in manga were animated quite nicely. I have to admit, I really like the way how they were animated. So that's generally that. I am an awkward guy. Can't wait for the second season of Dan Da Dan. Also, Creepy Nuts are making such good openings for anime. Really damn good. No? Huh? You don't like Creepy Nuts? The band? Or no, I don't. I'm not awkward. There might be. I do. Okay. Okay. And no, you are not awkward, and yes, I like creepy. That's okay. Alrighty. Yeah. Alright. So we are now making some shadows on the pants. We can finally make that move. It's actually for bigger groups of shaded areas, like this one. I prefer to be rather zoomed out and work, slowly. I'm kind of sketching out the shadows for now, trying to figure things out a little bit. Okay. Dude, after looking at some of the AI generated artworks, I can see that my poses are so much looking alike to the ones that AI is outputting, because usually AI is giving you very simple poses, totally not dynamic, etc. And it's so much difficult. Also, hey Zega, I think I didn't welcome you, so hi, hello, how are you? Hope you're right. It can make dynamic poses, people just don't prompt that way. Yeah, actually, I believe it could. Wouldn't it break though? Wouldn't that actually have a negative output on the AI itself? Because I know that in moments where there should be some more dynamicness, it's like it's more likely to mess up limbs and stuff, I think. Maybe it depends on, someone's computing power or something. I don't think so, okay. Huh, so it's just people that are choosing that. Okay. It does not correlate with computing power. Okay. Gotcha. So I'm making a, long playthrough of the Core Keeper. I have to say I'm having fun playing this game, taking my time. Taking my time playing this game, chilling hard, really hard. Chilling hard or hardly chilling? Okay, I'll see myself out. Although I have to say my juggling with things tactic is working. Today I've been working on that game thingy, which is, you know, not for now mostly working on maps. Since the maps are made with parallax, all I need to do is just drawing the map itself. But surprise, surprise, I can actually pick up what I'm going to make and splice it into tileset. How cool is that? Yeah, this is exactly as I've explained that, I think, not that long ago on one of the streams. Splicing something into tileset is not really that difficult the moment you actually are creating like concepts of a map. And this is generally how the graphics, you know, how maps are being made mostly. That's why you have some, you know, in games there's some repeating resources. It's generally because artist is sitting down, you know, concept artist, and drawing a map as a concept, but they don't have to draw like every single location. There are artists that are, you know, designing the level, right? So they are, after a certain amount of time, when they are like, you know, sitting down and making all the maps and, you know, 3D modeling resources and stuff, they can reuse that. And the same thing goes on with, you know, making tileset, kinda. You are just drawing a map, then you are splicing it into objects on the map. You can give them shadows, you don't have to. You are just, you know, adding things. When you look at the certain house and you think like, oh, that could be good to add, but I don't have it, so you're just trying to, you know, get as much resources as you can get, and you're just making a new resource and you're adding this to the library, so you can later on, for example, look through your maps and, you know, add it whenever you want. This is generally how it goes with, you know, making tilesets for indie games, at least. Because, you know, when you have 3D models, it plays kind of differently. So now I'm, you know, making first building, you know, kind of as a base. Then when I have to make more buildings, I'll be able to just, you know, recolor a wall, change the flooring, or add new floors. You know, reuse the bed, maybe change the color of the sheets, but all of those like changed colors can be still reused, you know, over time, right? And of course, later on, I'm just going to be left with massive tileset, right? You know, all the resources from the game, and I'll be able to, you know, compute it, let's say, and I'll be able to, you know, work it out, let's say, in RPG Maker, for example, right? Or Godot, because, you know, I'm generally making those things separately. Actually, the person is using Unity, so that's that. So yeah. Mm. Since that person is using Unity, I can just make, you know, maps kind of the way how I see fit, and I'm actually hoping to reuse that tile set later on in other games that I'm going to make. So, you know, when I have that tile set finally done, I'll be able to reuse it in any given software. Of course, I'll need probably like two. If I would want to use it in RPG Maker, I would have to most likely reuse it, like remade it, remodel it to work properly with a RPG Maker standards, right? Because of course it has its own like auto tiling, etc., which works in a very specific way. So I'll have to make things work in a very specific around, you know, splice the tile set in different way, make the flooring different way, walls same, right? So everything will have to have its own way of being if I would want to make it different. But definitely the moment you have, you know, the map, you can just make miracles, whatever you want. So for example, if you would want to have a Pokemon Fire Red, let's say, tile set, you can still do that. You just need screens from the game and, you know, establish how big the tile set is going to be, right? So for example, if you wanted 16 by 16 or 32 by 32 or 64 by 64 or 48 by 48, it all depends on what you are going for, right? And of course, you know, there are tools where you can rip sprites. Ripping sprites is very specific because you're basically just getting all of the graphics as a giant file. There are also, you know, websites that are offering already ripped, you know, tile sets. So for sure you will be able to find, you know, all the Pokemon graphics, etc. At least last time I've seen, they've had all the Pokemons up to Pokemon Black and White, I think. I mean, of course, like, there's a bit, you know, too much involved later on. I think not even Black and White, until the last one that is using normal sprites. I'm not sure which one that was. I think Black and White, Diamond and Pearl are already 3D, already have 3D Pokemons. But surprisingly, there are people who are, you know, still remaking the sprites to make them look like they are, you know, making sprites of the Pokemons from newer era and making them look like from the old era, right? Like, you know, Pokemon Fire Red era. So that's cool. That's really cool. Also, the reason why you can't really here's the thing. There were troubles with getting older versions of there are troubles of getting, you know, older versions of Pokemons into the Switch, and there's a reason to that, apparently. So they can't figure out how to protect, right? How to prevent missing though from happening, because giving that option and allowing people to, you know, bring their Pokemons from that era will affect the way how the exchange would work, right? So basically, if you're going to exchange Charizard to a newer game, that's going to be fine. But now imagine trying to get a newer Pokemon, right? A newer Pokemon into the older game where it doesn't exist. So basically, they will have to either make the newer game, the generation with old Pokemons, right? The old Pokemons on Switch to have possibility to actually use the to use the older Pokemons, which doesn't make sense, or they would have to actually sort of block the exchange from happening, which also is going to be a pain because you won't be able to receive Alakazam, Machamp, Gengar, and generally Pokemons that can be exchanged, or rather generally the Pokemons that evolve through exchange. So now that is a problem that they have to face. That's why you actually have so many remakes and generally Pokemons from in new generations. You have also generally the Pokemons from older generations, because otherwise people wouldn't be able to even get them, right? That's really huge though, that they are allowing now to catch starters. Like Scarlet and Violet was really cool. Like at least from, I don't think you can catch the starters from that region exactly, but at least you can catch starters like Mudkip, etc. in the region. Too bad it's from from the DLC. I was never a fan of DLCs as that, but I've noticed that since Sword and Shield, they've actually done quite a good job, because Sword and Shield wasn't really flying high as a DLC. Or rather, haven't had really flying high DLC, there we go. That one sucked, in my opinion. But yeah, it was quite good, quite cool. How do you focus on one drawing? To be fair, it's kind of difficult, but what really helps me is actually the way that I'm like I've just been working on my patience. It's very difficult to explain, but generally the more you are drawing, and the longer the longer sessions you are making, the more you can actually focus on drawing. So for example, you're sitting down, you're drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing, and you know, you just have to say when, right? Because otherwise I can just sit down and work on this drawing that we're making right now infinite amount of time. I can even expand it, start adding more details, make background, whatever. It's just my decision to cut it as a character design, right? So basically I've just been practicing, and that, you know, kind of comes with time, basically. Just try to draw daily for at least 15 minutes. If you fulfill that time, then you have like perfect time. You've had perfect time of practice generally, and you know, the more you want, the more you can, you know, work things out. Sometimes I don't feel like drawing. But what actually helps me is that rule, because I've been drawing every day for a while now, years actually, and I think like 15 years, something like this. No, not 15 years, less, around 10 years. I was 14 when I started that, and I'm now 25. So that's 6. 11 years. That took me way too long for something as simple as 25 minus 14. Way too long. It's not the math day. It's never the math day. Quick maths. Yeah, quick maths. Exactly. It's never a day for that. I do 2 drawings and switch it out when I get bored. That helps too, yeah. That helps too. Sometimes I'm doing similar thing. I'm just, you know, switching to another drawing. Sometimes I have, you know, when I'm, you know, way too tired of this drawing, I'm actually, you know, when I'm too tired of a drawing, I'm actually taking what, you know, a stream of, and just make a sketches, right? For example, sometimes that's all. Also, sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you need something more advanced. It depends. You know, again, it kind of depends on your patience that you have for one drawing. But it's good to switch. It's good to listen to your gut. If you feel like it's like you don't want to draw it, don't force. Really don't force, because actually when you're forcing yourself to draw, this is how you're burning yourself out, and burnout is something really problematic. Basically, it's generally happening when you're starting to associate a lot of negative feelings towards drawing, right? Or generally one thing. So even if you are drawing, not even drawing a lot, but if you are playing a game and you start to be very angry at that game, you are going to experience issues with wanting to play that game, because that, you know, that, oh, that your brain is going to like, oh no, I want dopamine, I want the happiness, I don't want angry, take that away from me. right? So you generally just won't want to draw or play or whatever, because your brain is connecting those things into negative emotions, and negativity is something your brain doesn't want. So it's good to actually fill your brain with happy hormones when you are drawing, like for example watching something that you really like, or maybe play something and that you really love, and then do a quick sketch and come back to drawing, come back to playing, like, you know, so just like getting your brain fixated on the positivity, right? I really like drawing. I love drawing. It really helps me to relax, helps me to release stress. That's why I'm actually, to be fair, whenever I'm playing games, I'm a bit more lively than when I'm drawing, but actually drawing is something that I'm doing for most of my day. Like straight up, actually I'm doing for most of my day. I'm just turning on YouTube, I'm sketching, switching video, sketching even more, sketching video, drawing something else, whatever, right? It's sometimes it just happens that something interesting starts to play, so I'm just, you know, putting down a pen, my stylus, and, you know, focus a little bit on the YouTube. That's how I'm actually letting my brain to relax from drawing, because that's also taking a stroll, right? Creativity generally takes a stroll on your brain. As a matter of fact, everything can take a stroll on your brain. That's why I also recommend differentiate learning sessions from drawing sessions. Learning is something specific. Learning affects your brain a lot, and it requires focus. And you have only 2 hours of focus if you don't have, you know, attention deficiency, because then your focus drops. If you have less attention deficiency, then of course you are going to struggle with focusing, and your, you know, your attention is not going to be really allowing you to learn as quickly, but you can still do that. You'll just have less time. But actually, after those 2 hours, your brain is not going to absorb as many informations as it's supposed to. That's why it's good to actually let your brain relax, right? And during learning sessions. So basically, you know, when you're learning how to draw, it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to work things out, right? And you are going to, for example, focus on your drawing, notice that, oh, I've done that a bit weird, it should have been better, right? For example. And you are going to start reading about it, right? Start correcting it. Well, after you actually finish correcting it, right, it's good to make a couple sketches with the proper method and slowly start to dissociate away from, you know, what you're doing, and start doing this mechanically, right? So the more you are drawing, you are going to start to burn in the good practices into your head while, you know, learning how to draw. So for example, you are going to burn in that, hey, head's supposed to be this size, right? And it's just you're, you know, calculating, looking how it's supposed to look like. You are going to sit down, draw head in different positions while focusing with all your might. And I recommend doing that for like 30 minutes up to an hour. That's like the best time, but the, you know, at least 15 minutes, right? And then, like, you know, after focusing on that, make a quick sketch, still semi paying attention to what you're doing. At that point, it's good to turn on a video, you know, do a quick sketch, compare it to your learning, right? Then draw it again, compare it to your learning, draw it again, compare it to your learning, etc, etc, etc. and that way you're, you know, kind of burning in that practice, how the head's supposed to be built, how the arm's supposed to be built, etc. That's why some artists, even professionals up to this day, even though they've reached professional level, they're, for example, making sketches or body practices, right? Some artists are even making warm-ups before they start to draw. I don't. I don't know why warm-up would be a thing. Warm-up sketches were never a thing whenever I was, you know, up and running. That's something that people, you know, went in for. But yeah, just saying, maybe, you know, sitting down and making a warm-up sketch is going to be something you would find better for you. G. That should be skinnier. I should have used 5 pixel brush. Okay. And I'll take care of that later. We'll still have to work on these, so I'm not really going to crack the line art yet. We're going to work it out later. Let's make something like that. And a gradient. Why not? Enjoying your Vtuber again, and your hair pissed me off, so I made it curly. It's okay. To be fair, I have a long curl. When my hair are getting longer, they are getting curly. So generally, like, they are going like that, right? So instead of going like all the way here, like around the middle, they would make like a curl and start curling like this with like really long curl. Would kind of look like those anime hairs. Like straight up. That's actually the reason why in the first place, when I've had longer hair, I've cut them short. Because I've had kind of longer hairs. I've cut them short and then started cutting them shorter and shorter. They weren't like long, but they were like to half of my face, maybe to like slightly past the ear, something like that. I was letting them out for like 6 months. So, and because when I've moved, I've started actually trying to get long hair. And, you know, I look at Discord already. Hey, that's good. Yeah. That's exactly how my hairs looked like when I had them slightly longer, actually. Like, cut sides and, you know, the thing, and they were like kinda starting to curl, so they were looking actually very similarly. That's so cool. I actually wanted hers kinda, you know, when I was letting my hairs out to grow out, I was actually aiming for the similar hairstyle that Davis has right now. So that's that. That's like my quote-unquote dream hairstyle. I've always wanted hairs like this. Who knows, maybe one day I will. I've started to see that my hairs are, when they are short, they've started to actually grow back in the places where they were falling out. So I'm just, you know, now making a good routine for hairs, like, you know, typical male routine, washing them every now and then, not every day. So I'm drawing it right. Yeah, you are drawing it perfectly. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe one day I'm going to have similar hairs. But then again, paying for the barber is going to be a pain. I haven't been to a barber for like over a year. Like, I think, yeah, no, yeah, over a year. Like, actually. You should. I mean, I'm bald. Yeah, so I don't have what to go there with. Like, I've learned how to trim my beard, so it's actually looking nice and neat without any issues. I have a like very exact you know, shaving machine. I have barber scissors, and like generally I've learned kinda how to, you know, make my beard smooth, how to stylize it, how to, you know, do stuff. So I'm just doing that myself. What barber could do anything else, and I'm just, you know, taking, you know, shaving machine and just, you know, going over the head. On Christmas now I've got a really cool machine, a skull shaver, which is just a machine that is like, you know, shaving your head, because it has like blades that are like kind of collapsing to the shape of your head. Really cool. Really cool. I haven't been to a barber for a while now. And it's good because, you know, saved money. I shaved my head, it was fun. Yeah. So actually, you know, the side effects of the medicine I was taking, which caused, you know, some of my hairs to actually fell out. Because yes, I was taking some medicine that had this as a side effect, unfortunately. And, you know, I was pointing that out, but the doctor said, no, it's natural. It's natural, yeah, definitely. And the moment I've stopped taking the meds, the hairs stopped falling out as much, but what I've lost, I've already lost. Good thing they are starting to actually, you know, grow, because they were like later on going, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Nah, it's okay, it's okay. It's not like it was for anything dangerous, it was just for those were medicines for gout, because I have a gout that is now, you know, in recession. It's kind of, you know, kept under checkup, So just generally, everything is all good, and I could stop taking the meds. So I've stopped taking the meds, and the progression stopped, right? So I believe the more for the longer period of time I would be taking those meds, the more hair will be falling out until like my head will be clean, squeaky clean. I hate it because the doctor totally overlooked that, and I've pointed that out, and he just kind of laughed it out. So that's a bit of a problem, but whatever. Not really something I'm worried about. I'm not really that much after the way how I look. I'm still handsome as I was. Hair doesn't mean anything. And actually, if someone is experiencing balding, like has bald spots and stuff, just shave it clean. Just if you have that, just go all in already, like let it go. I was struggling with it because I was doing my best to like keep them in, right? I was doing everything. I was like going to different barbers, doctors. I was like just generally checking things up. And what can I say? Like it's so sometimes it's better to just let it out. And yeah, to be fair, at times I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking that I'm looking way better than when I had hairs. Like actually, also like taking care of the hairs is such a hassle. Products, so many different products, different things. Oh, this shampoo is giving me allergy, this is doing that. I'm not just shaving my head clean. I'm taking like one of those showering gels and shampoo in one, just going all on the whole body, and that's it. I don't have to worry about like different shampoos, especially those that supposed to prevent hair loss, which done absolutely nothing. That's a scam. Like straight up. At certain point, I've like doctors thought that I might have scurvy or something like that. I'm just losing hairs because of lack of vitamin C, but wasn't really a thing. Got it all checked up, and it was good. And who knows, maybe that's that might be an idea why someone might be having troubles. But I guess scurvy would I think if someone would have a scurvy, it would be like right away visible. Okay, my hair was falling out, that's why I shaved it. I would wear beanies now. I have a cool beanie collection. Same, I've started wearing hats when it was like really sun was shining like really strongly, or when it's really cold. I'm actually either I have the different hats that are protecting me from the sun or from the cold, like beanie and stuff. kind of looking at the, you know, kind of trying to figure out the shadows is a bit problematic. Of course, there's just supposed to be some light here, but I think we'll have to shade it a little bit. Yeah, just like that. Maybe even make it kind of gradient like this. Yeah, that's way better now, because it's not, you know, it was sticking out like a sore thumb. Overlay stuff solved half my problem. Really? That's so cool. I'm really happy to hear that. I keep getting mistaken for a boy, and when I was working I was called a 12-year-old boy, bro. It's kind of the same thing how you are kind of inverse of me then, because every single person that looks at me is giving me like over 40 years when I'm 25 now. Even when I was like below 18, like actually I was like 17, 16, I was starting the you know, technical college, and people are giving me like, you know, way more than I actually looked, like way more than I was. But over the phone, like everyone is calling me mom. Thick and thin characters have very similar height to waist with ratio, so that's a point where I can swap half of it. Yeah, that's true. True. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Because you have way less problems now. Like way less problems. That's really nice. So yeah, like over the phone, everyone is calling me a lady or mom. So maybe I should change the avatar to a lady and, you know, start making memes. Bro. Just imagine. But yeah, like that happens. People do mistake, like people do like give different age. It's good if you are called like, you know, younger for your age. Like actually it's good when people are telling you that you look young. That's really good. It's kind of hurting your soul when, you know, someone is calling you mister and you know, and they are thinking that you are like over 40 years or something like that. Cracks prompting hand, female Davis incoming. Go on, I want to see it. I look young for my age and you give me a drawing idea. Female Davis. Let's go, give me female Davises. I need references how you would want to see Davis. Female Davis. Actually, there is female Davis. I think I've talked about it on some previous streams. Because Davis actually is made from the story I was making, and that story was actually originating as a RPG game that I was making. And generally in that RPG you could choose could choose a gender, right? Male and female. And basically, you know, those two characters looked kind of the same. You know, tattoo on the chest, some like wild nomad look, etc. And basically, I went with Davis further on as the main character. Later, when I've decided that, okay, that story is going to be... In your first comic, there was a girl I liked. Really? Oh, the one with the mark on the eye, right? Yeah. She looks kind of similar, like she kind of looks like female Davis, isn't she? Because she also had the shaved side of the hair and had like slightly, you know, on the side. Don't know. She wore like bandages. Yeah. So actually, the female version of Davis, like the one that, you know, the female version. Bandage is not the same, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know you made a comics. Yeah, I'm making a story of Davis as a comic form. There's on the you know, out there actually is a you know, the Davis's story, first comic book that I've had. This is the I'm going to exchange that because my pen name changed kinda, because this is literally Devis Moriarty. But that's going to be the, you know, first look on it. Not necessarily my best attempt on Davis. Maybe I would want to change it, but I really like the background. That's at least good. But yeah, we will see. Because I thought about making the, you know, the covers, since a cover is going to have several chapters, right? So it's going to be literally like a manga book. That's so cool. Glad to hear it. So yeah, basically there's a bunch of stuff. Also, this is actually the view that Clip Studio Paint EX is allowing you to use. It's literally allowing you to make a whole manga over here. I'm using the view from right to left because this is how manga is supposed to be read, but when it's going to be released on Webtoons, it's of course going to be, you know, top to bottom, but still you'll have to read it like normal manga. Like the pages will have to be read like a normal manga. So that's that. I'm probably going to make a stream where I'm going to show you how to write a scenario for a comic book and then how to turn scenario into, you know, the pages, right? I've totally forgot the name, but there is a, you know, stage between starting to make the normal manga pages and the making scenario. It's like planning out everything, like planning out your panels, planning out your generally everything. It's quite specific if you think about it, because you kind of have to part of making a good manga is also how you are. I can't find the same one. Huh? I found it on Webtoons. What? I have a good plot for a story, but I've done anything with it. I never done anything with it. You know, sometimes it's good to do something. Sometimes it's good to push. You know? There. That's the one, right? Zaga. It's kinda hard with dyslexia. No? What you mean, no? There's no other girl in this thing. Oh, I know which we are talking about. You are talking about the actual female version of Davis. You are talking about Moriarty. She had bandages. Wasn't the another one with colors? No, no. But I think you've seen the actual female version of Davis. Wait, let me see if I have it somewhere. No. 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 That's environment, yeah. Where is she? Would she be somewhere here? I doubt it. She shouldn't. Yeah, no. 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 What? Ain't no way, I can't find it. I really cannot. What the heck? Here, no. Here, no. You know what? That's so bizarre. I literally cannot find it. I actually cannot find the illustration. It's so weird. I fear that it might have been actually lost. Some comics have so simple style and look so good despite that. You find it, I want to see. Gee, that actually... That's a bummer. It might be lost media at this point. Like straight up, actually, I thought there would be actually be this version saved somewhere, because I usually wouldn't really throw it out, so I would keep it in anyway. So that's actually really weird that I can't really find it anymore. Because I really wanted to, you know, show it. Wait, let me check. Maybe it's, you know, somewhere. Holy fuck. Some of these sketches are so disgusting, I see. No. 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 Holy fuck, I actually can't find it. She's not anywhere. What? That sketch is kinda good. That's so weird. Yeah, I really can't find that sketch. Such a bummer. Such a bummer. It's with the cleaver. With the cleaver. Yeah, she had the cleavers. Yeah, that one. I couldn't find it. Yeah, that's actually the like very old concept of her. On my PC, she's lost media. Okay, we found it. Yeah. There. Finally. I couldn't find a funny expression, yeah. But I hate the way how she turned out. It's very old one, so I didn't know as well how to draw. And I was trying to, you know, connect realism with anime a bit too much, and it didn't really turn out well. So it's actually really bad. So many different things could work differently. But it's kind of, yeah, that's kind of the way how she should look like. So looks kind of skinny on the face. Yeah. But Davis himself was skinnier on the face. Let me show you. That's my previous one. Look. There are like very pronounced cheekbones generally. That are. Should I redraw it? Of course, if you want to. So actually, yeah, Davis in his male form. It sounds so weird to talk about like that. It's actually also has like, you know, sunken cheeks. Like an old billionaire. It's kind of how the idea how I went for it. Like I've kind of went for the idea that Davis would be, you know, like an old, you know, like an old destroyed billionaire lives for billions of years, generally. telling his tale to the grandchildren. I don't think Davis would have grandchildren. Like story-wise, Davis actually has, you know, has children. But I don't think like that would be like grandchildren and stuff. It's like the idea of it is like very much connected with the general story, so I don't want to spoil exactly what's going on, but you know. Well, found Chibi Davis though, yeah. There are a bunch, like right, you know, above there were, you know. Right above there are, you know, Chibi Davises. Ibra had so many different like ideas for stuff. They look sleepy. Yeah, Dave is supposed to be like really sleepy person, like very sleepy character, like, you know, one of those anime characters that are usually sleeping. Oh, I like the white-haired one. Yeah, with the mask, right? Face seems a little scary though. Yeah. Or you are talking about the oil painting one. No mask, okay. So this one. Yeah, I can actually make a stream where I'm going to draw something like that. The girl with the uniform, yeah, she's cut out. That one actually is a... It was one of and big red hand, yeah. Exactly. There are so many different things going on. Like, I've had so many different artworks, but I wish I could remake them. I'm thinking about making a stream where I will draw realistically, you know, instead of anime. But I don't think people want to see it. I don't think you all would want to see my realistic drawings. Like, for example, you could see that style, you know, that realistic drawing I've made, that realistic sketch I've made of that girl in the Japanese school uniform. It's cool seeing your own art, and I do. Okay. Who knows? Maybe I would sit down and make some. Get back to making some of this. The uniform having that inner texture looks cool. Yeah. I've kinda, you know, tested some things a little bit. I wonder what else I've had as my artworks. I think a lot of my artworks were actually pasted in not sure. I think I wanted to say they might have been in the critics, but we are in the critics. I don't really post in exhibit. Yeah, still my attempt on the character. I was destroyed by the hair and yeah, I was destroyed by the hair. Or maybe those were the details? Yeah, I think I was destroyed by the details. Like feet and stuff. Oh, that bird snake chapter cover looked awesome too. I'm thinking about like making that you know, I'm thinking about coming back to that cover, like, you know, leaving the background that we have right now, but I'm actually rethinking if I maybe should, you know, add that bird snake cover. Rather than making a Davis just standing there. But then again, like no manga is doing that. A bit of an invasive Death Note vibe. No idea. I just drew it. I don't think Death Note made it. Inverse? Oh, okay. A bit of an inverse Death Note vibe. Alright. Yeah, kinda. So basically the idea was that like I want to make the covers kind of symbolic. So I was thinking about making you know, Davis placed in like actual like paintings, right? Like some tragic paintings of, like, you know, let's say fallen angels or something like that, or generally just giving vibes like that or similar. But then I've had, like, you know, a bit of a rollback. I wasn't really sure what I want, so I was rethinking some stuff when it comes to the idea of the cover itself, because a lot of mangas that I have, that I've seen covers of, actually are showing characters themselves instead of like some sort of like concept or some sort of idea of it. Death Note, I think, might be the only one that is not doing that, I think, because it's literally just kind of an apple on a desk and everything around is just black. So yeah, that's a bit of a struggle. It's a bit of a struggle. But what can I say? What can I do? You are not done with shading the pants. I've kinda got distracted, but that's okay. It's good to take your time on stuff. Oh yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm going to make it like that, you know, make a snake and stuff. We'll see. But yeah, folks, I guess I'll be ending the stream right now. So, thanks Zeka for being active in the chat on Twitch, thanks Skylar, thanks Muto for being active in the chat on YouTube, and thank you all workers that were here from this 1 second. Meanwhile, as always, stay creative, and I hope to see you all in the next stream. Take care, and